What's going on, everybody? So it's Tuesday, April 2nd, and this is my third video that I'm going to make about Degen chain. I already created a small Degen chain playlist here on my YouTube channel. Y'all can go find my YouTube channel here, Alpha Trades. And I generally talk about broad market, what's happening in crypto, what's happening in equities, and macro risks and stocks that I'm into, et cetera, et cetera. But I find this opportunity to be so unique regarding Degen chain that I kind of want to make a video almost every few days of new products and new growth opportunities that I find in Degen chain. And one of the ways I want to do that is by simply sharing newer developments that are happening in Degen chain. So for example, if you look at my previous videos, and again, I'm not going to go too far back into exactly everything that I've spoken about, how to bridge, how to use different dApps and everything on Degen chain. You can watch those videos on my channel. So today's video is going to be about what are new things that I found out in Degen chain so far, and how am I playing around with them? How am I exploring them? Where do I think the Degen chain goes from here? So first things first, one thing that I've mentioned a few times is Depe, right? Depe is pretty much like a meme coin that is on the Degen chain. And it's basically a meme coin that you could buy like any other meme coin, right? And today it obviously took a little bit of a beating, but the entire market actually took a beating, right? Today the market was down pretty significantly for a lot of meme coins, a lot of alts across the board. But Depe right now, to me, because it's so new, it only started up on March 29th or 30th, which is like 3 or 4 days. And it's pulled back, a substantial 50%, right? But guess what? Degen has also pulled back from the local highs about 38%, and the lows that we had earlier today was 46%, right? The reason I'm mentioning this is because I personally believe that where the market is right now, and this is kind of how I want to, bring about the larger picture of where we are. Okay. If you've been around like I have since 2016 and 17, I've kind of seen the market grow in so many different ways. And sometimes you get a pretty good pulse on the opportunity that is right in front of you. And the opportunity that I see in front of me right now is similar to 2017 rather than similar to 2021, as far as I can sort of draw parallels. So if you're kind of familiar with 2017, you had this massive ICO boom, which was pretty much developed because Ethereum created this smart contract platform, and that allowed so many new projects and new ICOs to spin about. And that pretty much sparked the bull run of BTC and Ethereum becoming mainstream products. And that created, of course, a lot of garbage products. The concept of DeFi and NFTs came about. And so that brings me to here, where we are today, which is 2021 is this new sort of era of, let me see here. We're in this new sort of era of meme coining, but also L3 new chain development, right? Because spinning up new chains is actually, in my opinion, going to be significantly easier going forward. And of course, as we know, Degen chain is the first, and if I'm not mistaken, probably the only L3 that has significant traction right now. There's a ton of L2s, obviously, right? Like layer twos, remember, are just a category that are created because, let me see here. How do I go to the categories? Okay. Layer twos are, just another category within Ethereum of how can you make gas fees cheaper? How can you scale Ethereum? All of these are basically Ethereum products, right? To be able to scale Ethereum or dApps, or some form of unscalable, slow, non-performant aspects of Ethereum. But now you have things like Base Chain and of course Degen Chain that have effectively solved that problem for ETH, and they are now gaining significant traction, which then creates this category of Degen chain within the L3 category, right? Degen chain being one. I don't really know what these are. I don't really even know how these are L3s. It doesn't make any sense to me. But Degen chain, I understand conceptually, right? Like I can go here and I see that I have a network that I've added Degen chain, which I can move my Degen tokens or ETH tokens from other L2s like Base or Polygon or whatever, right? So now that we've established that Degen chain and L3s are going to be a big thing, the question is how big and what is like the larger TAM, total addressable market opportunity for something like Degen chain? And this is where I start to get into comparables of what I think Degen chain can draw comparisons to. So I think some of the most successful platforms right now, in my opinion, are Solana and ETH, right? And these are smart contract platforms. BNB I don't really believe in. Cardano is trash. Avalanche is not bad. Toncoin I don't even really use it, or nor do I care. Tron, don't care. Bcash, don't care. Near, don't care, right? So the reality is Solana, in my opinion, is the only game in town. And of course, Ethereum, but Degen chain is already on Ethereum. So now that we have a comp, which is, a comparable market cap, what do we have? We have an 81 billion market cap and an Ethereum market cap that sits at 400 billion. And like I showed you guys earlier, the other categorical, market caps that we could draw comparisons from is layer 2, right? Which Polygon sits at the top, somewhere around 8 billion. Okay. Now, again, the reason I'm doing that is because, once again, I want to show you guys how I'm viewing this as a substantial opportunity of what I envision for something like the Degen chain for the next 6 months, 12 months ahead. Okay. So we've established that layer 3s like Degen chain are probably the new category that's going to be, massive, massive winner in the crypto space, because it's so easy to move your Degen tokens or your ETH over to Degen chain, and then just start buying, meme coins or your DEX tokens, like your Degen swap, or pretty much what have you, like meme coins like Depe, right? We've talked about how easy it has become from a low barrier to entry, low cost, high performant chain like a Degen chain to be very easy to use for the average retail consumer. Now we add to that the fact that Degen chain is very much embedded into the Farcaster network, right? The Farcaster app. Now, Farcaster is basically a Twitter, right? And I've spoken about this before. I'm in fact actually going to write a longer written piece. Sorry for going through all my tweets. I feel like I write so much on Farcaster, like I have to go through a shit ton of stuff just to find what I was talking about. Let me see here. Because I want to start writing long form, high alpha stuff, simply because I think this is the opportunity for everyone to start, seizing this time, this moment in the crypto market. Okay. And I think that kind of starts with, anyway, I can't find it, but point is I'm going to start writing about, long form stuff about the Degen chain. And one of the things that I want to talk about is, you know, like I said, the total addressable market opportunity, as well as how deeply embedded, Degen tokens are um, into the Farcaster network. And of course, other things. So I made this video on this thing called Dracula app. Okay, so Dracula is trying to be, and you can, find my videos here. I'm really not a person who is on video a lot, just because like I like making videos like this. It becomes easier. You don't feel like you have to be on video and presentable, and have your workspace be very proper and prim for the viewers. So I like making videos like this where I'm not on video, but I also just did this one just to test out the app, right? So what did I do? Um, there's this app called Dracula.app. And if you actually go on my Twitter feed, sorry, not Twitter, Farcaster. I feel like I keep saying Twitter or tweets. Rather, it should be Warpcast or Farcaster and then casts, right? I feel like that terminology is going to be very difficult to get out of people for the foreseeable future, but slowly it'll happen. So, um, Dracula.app is kind of like your shorts, your reels, that you have on Instagram or Facebook. And here you get to, basically make Degen tokens for being able to post your content. So, here's some people who are posting their content. Holy shit, this girl is everywhere. Like I feel like all I see is her content. I don't know why. But point is, clearly she's popular, right? And clearly I see her content everywhere. So what do we do, right? So the opportunity here is for someone like you to seize moments like this in crypto to start using apps like Dracula app if you're a content creator, and then you could start earning tokens, right? Someone will gift you some free tokens. I don't know what this blood balance is. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think that's like your how much you interact with the app, if I'm not mistaken. And then based on that, maybe you get rewarded Degen tokens. So what you have here is, the trending creators creating content. And then what I've seen is like you can actually like buy or sell their token, kind of like Friend Tech was, a few months ago or last year, right? If y'all remember Friend Tech, it's kind of like basically you are the product. Okay. So for example, let's just say Alex here, right? Alex creates all this content and he has this price where you can buy shares of this person. And if those shares go up, then you can sell and collect that profit, right? So it's like you're basically betting on the price of a creator going up or down. I think that's how I see what Dracula has done. And I find that kind of interesting because just earlier today, I did something very similar, which is this Depe Friend .tech app. Okay. So in this app, basically what you are able to do is you're able to create your own little Depe friend, which is now your character, if you will, that you get to monetize, right? So you have X amount of tokens for your personality on this app. And the starting price of the app itself, I'm sorry, the starting price of your token itself is 4,269 Depe. And the ending price is for 426,900. And that entire price curve is on this bonding curve for this token, which is my token, right? So you can create your own token for yourself, and then people will buy and sell your token, however they want to speculate on you. So one commonality that I see, which is happening on the Degen chain, is it seems like this creator economy is going to be a big thing that powers Degen chain. So if you're a creator, a content creator, and you're dropping alpha, um, this is probably the app for you. Even if you're consuming alpha, right? If you interact with things, you'll still get Degen tokens. Like I bet you that, let's say for example, my video, right? I'm not that popular as this other guy is that I just showed you. Okay. So clearly this guy's, popularity, the amount of views that he gets is nowhere close to mine. Okay. But the price of my share, my token is only 160 Degen versus this other guy, his price is significantly more expensive. So if you were to speculate and say, oh, well, I believe that Amul is going to be more popular in the next 3 to 6 months, you get to basically buy my token on the Dracula app or on this, Depe bonding curve, and you hang on to it. And if I do well, you kind of collect that profit. Right. So I think that this is kind of the game plan that I believe these apps are trying to create, which is they want to gamify content creators and their content. And within that, they want to create sort of this token economy of buying and selling shares of this content creator. Now, I'll be honest, like, I don't know if I'm going to post that much, but if I do start posting more, like the videos that I'm making now, and you buy today's share at 106, and a month from now, if I've made 10 videos and then that share price is 206, you've basically doubled your money, right? Your Degen tokens, rather. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you, yes, you should bet on me. Yes, I'm a good content creator, or any of that. I'm just simply showing you what are the opportunities that reside in terms of apps that are being created on this Degen chain. And the fact that Dracula, the app, has created this kind of, real slash shorts, style economy where you can basically, look at the content creators and see what they're making. And based on that, you can buy their shares, um, all kinds of content creation, economy related stuff. I think this is a big use case that's going to be popular for Degen chain, and that's going to propel, once again, Degen token itself and Degen the ecosystem. Okay. So that is a big use case. The other use case is, of course, gaming, right? Gaming and gambling, I think, is going to be a big thing. This is bracket.game. I think this is on Degen chain, or at minimum, you can use Degen tokens to bet on different, sports. So again, of course, gambling is going to be a big thing on the Degen chain, most likely, because it's pretty much everywhere. So why not on the Degen chain, right? Art, I think, and NFTs are definitely going to be a big thing. So I put up this piece of art and I showed it, on my this is a, by the way, original piece of art from one of my favorite artists. And I put it up on my Warpcaster, right? Now, if it sells, then that money basically gets funneled through the Degen tokens, right? Because I would want to get paid in either ETH or Degen tokens, or if I get ETH, I'll probably buy more Degen tokens, right? So I've shown you now the Dracula app. We have this, whole Depe thing, which is the Depe friend tech thing that's going on, right? And then we have the bracket.game, which is kind of like a gambling app. And then I've also showed y'all already the NFT launchpad, or buying different domain names, right? Which is nftdegen.lol. And here again, on the Degen chain, you can buy different domain names, right? I've purchased these domain names on my current, ETH address, or yeah, current Degen ETH address. And what you could do is you can start organizing them and put it into degenname.lol. This way, you know that you have a set place where you have all your domain names stored. And then in the future, right, if someone wants to buy some of these from you, like for example, I don't know, builder.degen. Do I think that's popular? Probably, right? What is someone going to pay me for this? I don't really know, right? But guess what? The .degen names are so new right now, and I think they're going to do really, really well in the future. Again, not investment advice, but if they're going to do well in the future, right, you want to start picking up some of these. Like, I don't know, something like, um, NFT legend. How much does that cost? Oh, I don't have that many tokens, right? So let's just try like, uh, no, that still costs 16. So minimum is 69 degen. But the point is, I already showed you all that that is the place where you can go buy domain names, right? Or you could pick up NFTs here, right? And in the future, you can then sell those NFTs. You can sell these domain names um, either on the NFT Degen application or the Degen name application. And that, once again, is another use case, right? That's being built out for the Degen chain economy. Okay. So I'm going to sort of complete that, here and just like include this video because I don't want to go too far deep into all the stuff that's happening. Like every few days, I'll try to do a video like this where I highlight, different things that are going on in the in the Degen chain space. I do often do videos of general crypto markets where I, talk about like, I don't know, BTC halving is coming up and we're probably going to consolidate here for the next, few weeks or so. Maybe we have a flush down to like 54K, but for the most part, I think we're going to build some sort of large range like this, right? And post halving, I would expect, June, July, August, and end of year for BTC to do something similar like it did in 2020, right? If y'all remember in 2020, we coiled up pretty nicely post halving for almost 2 or 3 months and then just took off like a straight line, right? I believe the market in BTC may do something very similar to that headed into the summertime that we have coming up. But I've also written about my general market thesis of how I believe that, market being as hot as it is, I do think it needs to cool off a little bit. I think April and May are probably going to get a little bit rocky, a little bit rough, but it doesn't change the narrative and the building and the power of these networks that are new and products that are new that are really going to do well into the end of this year, probably even next year, right? So the next 3, 6, 12 months, my goal is to find as much alpha and to collect, opportunities within the Degen ecosystem as humanly possible, right? Because I think my bold bet is I think Degen chain will probably outperform Solana. So like, okay, here's how I see it, right? Solana, I think, is going to probably get to like 500, 700, maybe exceed to 1,000. Okay. So that puts us, price wise, like let's just say it goes to 1,000. That's, about 450% from here. Okay. That's pretty substantial, by the way. Like in crypto, that's pretty big, right? A 3.5x. Okay. However, Degen chain, in my opinion, because it's so new and novel and endless opportunities for a lot of ETH people and a lot of base people to start joining the Degen ecosystem. Now that opportunity is very, very hard to put a ceiling on, right? Because if the L2s like Polygon, which by the way, I've not touched Polygon in like 2 years or probably a year and a half. If the L2 ecosystems are trading at 8.3 billion, and Degen chain trades at 490 million. Okay, let's just say 400 million, just for math purposes. That's a 20x from current prices, just to get to the #1 market cap of what Polygon is. Now, again, I know Polygon is very well established and it has an incredible biz dev team, and they're partnered with Immutable X for gaming and everything. I get that. But Degen is also a very new category, which is the L3 category. And it is now doing something that Ethereum could never do before, which is provide incredibly fast swaps, incredibly fast on-chain transactions, and incredibly cheap on-chain transactions. And that's even cheaper and faster on the Degen chain, right? So that puts the opportunity for Degen chain from here minimum, right, at a 20x. So if we do this in market cap terms, okay, so here's how I would do it, okay? So again, none of this is investment advice. I'm not trying to price predict here, okay? So like, don't come back to me and ask me for a refund or anything. I'm just trying to show you guys the opportunity that lies here, okay? So at 8 billion, all right, this is Polygon largest L2 market cap, okay, at 8 billion. All right, so from current prices, that is a 1,600% gain, right, from current prices. Now, let's just say we exceed that. And like I said, well, what if, my big bet is I think Degen Chain reaches top 15, maybe even top 10 in total market cap by the within like 15 months. Okay. So 12 to 15 months. So let's just say 1 year, right? So next April 2025, if I were to see, Degen Chain somewhere near the top 10 market cap, that puts, where Cardano is right now. Cardano's, again, not trying to talk trash, but it's a garbage chain. Like, I've never heard of a person actually talk about using Cardano. Okay, so that puts us at 20 billion market cap, right? So then where does that put the ceiling of opportunity? That puts the ceiling of opportunity up here. So from current prices for Degen ecosystem, that's a 4,000% gain, right? So you have Polygon market cap at a 1,600% gain, okay? You have Cardano market cap. So we're going to put this Cardano L1 MCAP at 20 billion. Then you have the perennial L1, which is way the heck up here. Now, again, I'm not even going to reach that far because, Solana currently sits at 80 billion with an incredibly better UI, UX, vast ecosystem, more so than any L2, right? So let's not even go there, okay? Let's not start, throwing out random bullshit numbers and saying, oh yeah, Degen Chain can easily break and beat Solana. I don't think so. I'm a huge Solana fan and I'm a huge Degen Chain fan, but that's not happening, right? At least not this cycle. So let's be a little bit more reserved and say, okay, well, fine, cut that in half, right? By the end of this year, if Solana is supposed to basically quadruple, right? Because we did the math, we said that from current prices, if Solana gets to 1,000, that's 400%, 3.5x, let's just say. Okay. That puts Solana's market cap at somewhere around, I don't know, 300 billion. Let's just take an even number, right? 300 billion. Maybe Degen Chain takes 1/3 of that, somewhere close to 1/3. Okay. So that's $100 billion. Do I think that's reasonable? Not really, but let's just take 75, right? 75, I think, is reasonable when things get really, really ballistic, crazy in crypto. 75 billion is here. We're now talking about the future growth, of Solana, which could get to 300 billion by the end of this year. Okay. So I'm going to do the math and I'm going to say Solana at 300 billion equals Degen chain 1/3 of that. Okay. Close to 1/3, or what is that? Like 1/4 maybe. Okay. So now let's do the math, right? Now, again, I'm not trying to get you guys super excited, but this is what I'm talking about, right? This is like the massive opportunity. When things start moving really exponentially, they really, really start moving. Okay. That puts the current Degen chain opportunity from the current market cap of 400 to 500 million to 75 billion, which is a 16,000% gain, right? In that 16,000% gain, that's 164x, right? If I'm not mistaken, 164x, then you can start to go out and imagine how much money will pour into NFTs, how much money will go into Dracula app, how much will go into NFTs, how much will go into the domain names that are, people are buying. This is what I mean, right? Like when things start getting really, really crazy, do not question the craziness, because they really, really start going ballistic when the apes are out and price just starts going vertical. Because I think what people don't understand is it doesn't take $75 billion to create $75 billion market cap. It just requires less sellers and more buyers to just start ripping through open air. What happens is, a market is created when a buyer and a seller agree at a certain price, right? Now, if there's very few sellers left, the buyer will keep pushing price till they find the next seller. So let's just say, if there's an order book of, like, I don't know, the buyer, the bid is here and the ask is here. And Degen chain one day is trading at, let's just say, $1, $2, and $3. If there is a buyer willing to buy at $1 and a seller at $1, but then there's no one to sell at $2, there's no one to sell at $3, where does the buyer have to pay? They have to pay higher. They have to pay where the next seller is, right? So this is the bid and this is the ask. So if there was a seller at $1 and the seller is like, well, wait a second, I'm not going to sell anymore because someone bought my shit at $1, and then price just ripped up to 2 and 3 and 4. But wait a second, I have some more tokens to sell. Now I'm up 5x and I'm going to sell at $5. Well, see, now the price is just 5x'd, right? It's not because 5 more people wanted to pay $5 extra. It's because the seller and the buyer just could not agree upon a price. And the only price that they agreed upon is 5x higher than the first price that they traded at. So now you can effectively see how the market cap can go from the current 500 million into 5x that, which is 2.5 billion in an instant, right? Because there's such a vacuum between the buyer and the seller. Okay. And again, I didn't want to get into the bid-ask math of things, but this is what I mean. Like when things get really crazy, the exponentiality of how price moves is unfathomable, right? You just cannot comprehend how fast the price starts ripping through, sellers or lack of sellers, and just starts, rotating significantly higher. Okay. So again, I don't want to get into the price math of things and don't want SEC or anyone to complain about, oh, this person said we're going to get to 10, 20, 50 billion. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving you comparables of what is in the market cap out there to show you what is the potential for Degen chain. And by the way, I'm going to tell you guys one more thing. Crypto moves very fast. So if Degen chain doesn't continuously keep growing and improving and building cool products and, giving out tokens for creators and creating, new NFT projects like this Degen or Depe projects, or, these NFT domain projects or whatever, if the ecosystem doesn't continuously keep growing, it will dwindle and someone else will take its place. That someone else could easily be Solana, right? Because there's plenty of interest and plenty of buyers and plenty of products in Solana. So you want to make sure that you have your finger on the pulse and understanding, is Degen chain growing? Now, this is my final note that I'm going to drop to you regarding how to spot growth and how to spot opportunities in crypto. First of all, you have to be able to understand momentum, and that comes, via price, by recognizing metrics. Like, for example, metrics I look at is like crypto app rankings in the finance category, and Google Trends, such as, buy crypto. They've generally predicted, buying crypto, or Coinbase ranking. All this stuff is very close to marking tops in crypto, right? I would say right now, the majority of the engagement rankings are very, very low. Not very low, but they're not extremely high. Let's just put it that way. Once they start getting to these extreme levels, which they're not at, then you want to start considering that, okay, the market might be at a top, right? But we're not, in my opinion, anywhere close to that. And the other way to judge that is the Warpcast alpha that you're, about to find out, right? So Warpcast has all these channels that you can find individual daily analysis of how many followers were added, how many followers were lost, how many likes took place in a particular channel. This is amazing because, let's just say, for example, Degen channel, right? It's one of the most popular channels out there. How do we gauge the activity that it's continuously growing and seeing that reflect in price? Well, one good way is if you continuously see new followers added, more activity, more replies, more recasts, more likes, that means that there is more mind share and attention to Degen chain, to the Degen token, right? Same thing with base chain, right? Base chain is kind of the entryway to Degen chain. So if we look at the activity log and see how many more users and how much more followers and recasts and likes and everything is being added, it's a continuously upwards growth and trajectory. As long as this trajectory is continuously growing, or it's not falling off a cliff, I think that's going to reflect positively in the Degen chain price and, of course, the Degen chain economy. Okay, so I packed, I know, today's video with a lot. I hope you guys rewatch it if you need to. But this is all that I want to give you and provide to you, because I fundamentally believe that this is one of the biggest opportunities that I've come across, that you've come across in crypto. Now, again, we could totally be wrong, and Degen chain is just, maybe it sucks in like 3 months or 6 months, or there's a hack, or there's some sort of pivotal macro event or whatever that stops crypto in its tracks. But those are outliers, right? If we were to just look at current momentum and say, hey, I think the crypto market is doing well, just completely left curve it and just say, I'm going to bet on Degen chain because it's awesome name, funny, lots of memes, cool shit. There's this stupid frog thing called Depe. Boom. If you keep it that simple, and you also just look at, generally the growth metrics and stuff, that's all there is to it. All right. So there's your opportunity there. I've given y'all, all the alpha that I can give you of the Dracula app, of showing you guys, all the different stuff that's come out, NFT opportunities that are coming about, NFT launch pads, the domain names that you could buy, the domain names that you should start buying, in my opinion. Again, investment advice, but I've already started buying, right? Because I think that these are going to be popular domain names, and people in crypto always like betting on stupid shit, so why not? So I'm going to just, have fun on the Degen chain, collect my NFTs, collect my domain names, Have a good time on Warpcast. By the way, make sure y'all follow me because again, if you join Warpcast, I can send you some Degen tokens for free. Like, as long as I think you have to read um the FAQs, like, you have to have like X amount of Degen tokens or something, and you have to have 3 posts on Warpcast for me to be able to tip you. So trust me, like I'm not trying to, not give you tips. I just can't give you tips unless you do what they say, for prerequisites. All right. Anyway, today's video was extremely long. I apologize, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up. Please do share my content. Find me on Farcaster or find me on the Dracula app. Add me. Let's make gains together. Let's have fun this year. All right. Good luck, everybody. Cheers.